Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Happy fall, happy Halloween vibes. In this video we are working on a return client and we're gonna get into the spooky season. I'm doing some really spooky nails. If you're wondering what's happening on my left hand, I apologize. I did actually film that video. It was my version on like Black Widow nails. Pink, really cool, sexy spiders on the nails. They're really cool. I did some like 3D spider work. Something similar to like what I did last year when I first started my channel, but the video was terrible. I don't even know, man, if I should even like film myself doing my own nails anymore. This is like the third video or the third time I've done my nails, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be great, everyone's gonna love it, and then I go to edit it and it's like my hand is not in the video for like 45 minutes. So you know, you can kind of see the spider vibes happening on my nails, but this client is getting a new set. I don't even know when I'm going to be posting the order of the videos. Honestly, I don't post videos in order of when I film them. I kind of just release them, you know, whenever I can. So you might see this video before you see the set that she had before, but this is my client who got those like really cool pop art nails. She loves a long nail. She loves a really graphic nail. So she, before her last appointment, was like, don't forget, Halloween's coming up. I want my Halloween set and I want to go crazy with it. And I was like, oh man. So she came and we are getting started like normal, just spraying her down with some alcohol and cleaning up these cuticles with my diamond skiver bit, same as always. After that, I'm going to go in with my coarse sanding band from Young Nails just to get her set for prep. So her previous set was actually an Apres gel set. She wanted to do something really relaxing and calm before Halloween kicked in. So she actually got the medium short square. I said medium short, that doesn't work. She got the medium square natural Apres Gel X set. It was a nice, clean, simple white nail design. So hopefully, you know, you see that video before you see this one, but regardless, she's getting a gel set. Normally this client likes acrylic, but I think she's fallen in love with how quick gel tips are. Gel tips are not for everybody. I will say that if you are a person who is really rough on your hands, rough on your nails, maybe gel tips aren't for you. This client is extremely rough. She came back and one of the gel tips was melted because of her flat iron. One of the gel tips was like bent back. Like if you're a tough client, just, you know, stick with acrylic or maybe hard gel, something a little bit stiffer. Gel tips are super quick and super easy, but they are not as durable. So that's something to consider. But she was not so bad and I scolded her. So hopefully this set, especially with all the work we put in, will last a little bit better. But yeah, I did my normal prep and I am just going to be prepping her, you know, cleaning up any dry skin or dead cuticle that's on the nail plate. So she did have a Gel X set on before. I did not remove it normally, like soaking it off. What I did was I clipped down that tip that she had and then I filed the gel tip off and the gel that was on the base of her nail really thin. So there is a layer of gel that is on the natural nail. No biggie, I'm going to replace that gel. I just wanted to thin it out so that when we apply the new gel set, it's not like super bulky on her nails. We're also going to be adding some acrylic details on top of these gel tips. So I like to, when clients, if they want a different shape of a gel tip, then I just cut it down, thin it out, and then apply a new gel tip versus just backfilling with the gel, you know? So this client does have a lot of dry skin and hangnails. I do remove that and then I go in with my ball bit to kind of smooth that skin area out. We want a really beautiful appearance around the nails as well. So since we're not going in with acrylic, I'm going in with my Apres Gel Prep. So this is the dehydrator. It's called pH bonder, but I think it's basically just a dehydrator. The tips that we're using today are the ones that I used for my birthday, actually. I think they are the Chon Legend extra long square C-curve or sculpted C-curve nails. I personally don't like a C-curve. Wait, is that true? Are they the C-curve one? Yeah, I think that's what we're using. Wait, I might be lying. No, we're not using the Chon Legend. I think we're using the extra long. You know what? I don't know. I'll link it down below which one we used, but it's a square or it's extra extra long and it's a square Apres tip. I'm not sure if it's the sculpted or natural, but I'll link it down below. So with the Apres gel prep system, you go in with the pH bonder, that's your dehydrator. You go in with the actual primer, and then you have to apply a thin layer of the actual hard gel in a bottle or the gel extension on the natural nail. I love that it comes in this gel polish application bottle. It makes it so handy. You can kind of do it on the spot. If you want to add just a little bit of thickness to your natural nails, you can just paint a coat on, cure, and you're set to go. It's so much better and easier than having to find a brush, open up a container. It's really great. I just wish they had like refills or something, so I don't have to keep buying these small containers. If they had like a refill bottle, I could just refill these little containers, but love it. They're great. I'm just going in and mainly focusing on the back portion of the nail. Remember, there is a layer of gel on her nail already from her previous gel set. So I'm focusing on mainly covering that back area and then just cleaning up the front portion of that gel, because when filing down, it does make it really uneven, etc. But just being careful to not get it on the skin. If you do, just like that, clean it up. And then I'm going to have her cure for 60 seconds to lock this base coat of the gel. So here is a close-up of my application of these gel tips. As you can see, there's a good amount of gel in the tip. I place that cuticle portion of the nail really close. Sometimes I'll try and push it up under the epinicium just a slightly bit. I squeeze from the back and keep that pressure on the back while rolling kind of my thumb forward or my finger forward, and that kind of allows even pressure of the gel to kind of slide down the surface of the nail. Once it reaches that free edge, I try to flash cure. I like to use this little LED flashlight. I did have to replace the batteries yesterday when she was here, but no biggie. And as you can see, I'm keeping my thumb on the back portion of the nail just to get the front portion down. Sometimes if your finger is covering the entire cuticle area of the nail, you have to kind of wiggle it around to make sure that you get the light to cure that back portion. Otherwise, when you lift up your hand, it will release in the back. So that's what you see me doing, kind of rolling my thumb so I can get the back portion to be cured. Once it's pretty much stuck down, I'll move on, or if I feel like it's not stuck all the way, I'll have the client stick their hand in the actual LED light and cure that for 60 seconds to lock it down. But as you can see, it's a pretty good application, and there wasn't too much of the gel kind of oozing past the free edge. You definitely don't want that. Best to just kind of, and it takes time, eyeball how much gel you think you might need. Keep most of the gel is at the cuticle portion of the nail so that when you slide that, there you go, you can see it again. So most of my gel is at the cuticle portion. I'm pushing it and then pressing from the back, and then you're going to see the gel kind of sliding forward. There you go. I use my thumb to keep the pressure on the back, and once the free edge is covered with that gel, I flash cure. So that's pretty much my technique in applying gel tips. Sometimes I'll have my clients help me, like if it's a hard, I don't know, sometimes it's just a little bit difficult, but I try to just do it like that all the time. And the LED light, I promise, the little flashlight helps so much. I know Apres came out with like a standalone little flashlight as well. They used to use that little cube light thing that you plug in and you got to stick your, I don't know how people were using that. I saw people like taping it to like textbooks and hanging it from the ceiling. It's really difficult, but this little flashlight is great. I got it from Amazon. I'll link that down below too. We're going to do this application on all 10 fingers for her. Okay, so just to explain it again, you see how I place the cuticle portion of the nail down, and I'm pushing from the back of the nail. Do you see how the gel is oozing slowly towards the free edge? And once it hits that free edge, I am holding onto the back portion of the nail as hard as I can. Sometimes the client might be like, oh, you're squeezing me, but it's like, girl, just let me squeeze your finger for 2 seconds, okay? And then I flash cure the front. There is a little bit of gel oozing out, but it's not significant. As you can see, there's not a lot of gel squeezing from the sides. You want to just make sure to avoid that you're using the appropriately sized gel tip. Always best to go larger than smaller. Same with regular tips. Curing the bottom, that's just something that I like to do as well. And then to get the back portion of the nail, because as you can see, my thumb is over the back portion of the cuticle nail, I slowly roll my thumb side to side so that the light can kind of flash cure it, and then move my thumb down and then cure the back portion of the nail so that it doesn't lift and we don't get any air pockets. Once done with that, I have the client stick their whole hand inside the LED lamp for a minute, and then the hand is secure. So we have a client who does not like square nails. I know it hurts my heart, but I agreed, and we're changing the shape mildly. I don't know what's going on here where I'm at, where everybody wants a pinky stiletto, but I'm loving it. Someone commented on another video, like, is this a New York thing? And I'm like, I don't know if it's a New York thing, but this ish is fly. I'm really loving it. So I'm just taking my straight edge clipper, and we are just clipping the sides a little bit to kind of help out so I don't have to do too much filing later. I just think it's helpful that way. And because it's a gel X tip, I'm not using my 80/80 grit hand file. It just, gel tips are pretty soft. You can file through them fairly quickly, but they do create a lot of dust. I did notice that day. And I'm just hand filing the rest to make a nice pointy stiletto. So when I'm doing stilettos, I don't actually go for the super point right away. I find that if you go for that really tight triangle shape, you're going to lose a lot of the nail. I try to keep it more rounded towards the back and then just make the tip slightly point. You'll see what I'm talking about, so that it looks like a nice kind of broad stiletto, but not that super thin triangle. I don't know. If that's your preference, I'm not shading you, but that's just not the shape that I like. But you'll see, just going back and, oh yeah, look at my nails, guys, spiders and everything, just so cute. Sorry I didn't get this video. I did try, but it didn't work out. Or maybe it's the acrylic color that I'm using. I mentioned in another video that I filmed with this I filmed the set with my nails, and I used this really gorgeous kind of sheer nude color from Clawley called Skin, and that video also failed to be great, or even like subpar. My hands were all over the place. The lighting was a mess. Maybe this is that color again, the base acrylic for this set. Maybe I need to not use this on myself. It sucks because it's a really gorgeous color. But yeah, you can check out my nails as I hand file. There you go. The stiletto's happening. It's looking really nice. And as you can see, it's kind of like a rounded stiletto. Do you see how it's not straight and pointy? This is my preference for a stiletto nail, for it to kind of taper and be rounded and then come to a fine point at the front of the nail, just to give it a little bit of body yaddy. You know what I mean? So the rest of the nails are actually going to be filed to be more of a coffin. I would call it more of a tapered square versus a coffin. It doesn't taper so much to that like thin coffin shape, but she doesn't like a broad square. So this is the square, which I love. I think the shape is gorgeous, but she wants it to be a little bit more tapered. So I'm just going to go in with the hand file for all the rest of the nails and just taper in side to side. And you're going to see me switching back and forth so that you don't file one side too much and then it's a little bit slanted in one way. But yeah, basically the rest of the nails are going to have that, I guess, tapered to a coffin more shape than this broad square. Once done with that, it is time to blend. I call this blending my gel tip. So I love, love, love this cylinder flat topped diamond bit for this, especially for gel X application. I love it. So it's a diamond abrasion. I'm just using it to kind of scuff the surface of the gel nail, and also to clean up the cuticle and sidewall area and to thin out that gel tip in those areas. I find that when you apply gel tips, sometimes they just look like press-ons, you know, how the press-ons kind of look like they're just floating on the top of your nail. They're not really sealed at the cuticle or sidewall areas. I find when using this bit, as you can see, to kind of clean up that cuticle and sidewall area, thin that gel tip out, it just makes it look so much more flush and natural and kind of like an acrylic application that has really, really bomb prep. I like to do this every time I do a gel X application, and I find it just looks so freaking good. I'm also going to use it to kind of, as you can see, scuff up the actual gel tip. We are going to go in with some gel polish application and a whole bunch of stuff to design these later, but this step is so invaluable for me. Definitely consider using some type of prep bit after your application to kind of clean that area up to make the nails look extra, extra flush and extra, extra. So after the blending with that cylinder tip, I am just going in and refining the shape. I'm also using this hand file to, there you go, buff all of the nails down the entire length. I didn't do that with the bit because I didn't want to get too much gel on the bit. Usually when you're using bits like that on the gel, it kind of eats up some of that product, and then you gotta like clean up it's just a whole thing. So I wanted to just use my hand file since it was there and it was handy. Get that joke? Hand file handy. Okay. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just scuffing lightly the surface of the entire nail and just cleaning up the shape of anything that I'm like, this could be a little bit better. And this is just because we are going to be going in with a lot of gel polish application, a lot of designing happening on this set. I just wanted to make sure that all that polish and all of those things that we're going to be doing has something to kind of stick to. Say it with me. And now it's time for the fun stuff. So that was super fast. It didn't take us very long to apply the new tips, and as you can see, look how gorgeous they look, just nice and flush. That could be an acrylic nail, guys. Beautiful. Definitely clean your gel tips after you apply them. Just a beautiful, beautiful application. So we are going to be starting to build this Halloween really gory, spooky design on her. I love this client. She's always pushing me. She actually wanted me to like hand paint something later, and I'm not gonna lie, I did try. I do have footage of it, but it wasn't working out, and I was like, girl, you are stressing me out. Can I please just slap a decal on your nail? So we're going in with a nude base. I'm actually using 2 different colors. These bases are by Kiara Sky, and it's from their nude collection that I got, I want to say like a year and a half ago. The first color that we applied was something called Nude Swings, and then this one is called Cheeky. I like to mix these 2 colors. They give us a really, really gorgeous kind of warm nude shade versus like that pale kind of beigey shade. I just think it's really cool to have a more of a warmer nude. So 2 really thin applications, and as you can, I'm stroking because I want it to be thin. I don't want it to be super thick or clumpy. I had the client cure for 60 seconds to lock that down. Now we are going in with this black gel striper brush. I have been buying tons and tons of these striper liner gel application polishes on Amazon, guys. Please, because I see people are selling them everywhere. Please do not buy them from, you know what, let me not even shoot myself in the foot. Just check out Amazon first is what I will say. I recently got a 42 set of pastels, which was really, really gorgeous. I recently purchased the one that I was using before, the 12 color like basic set. I bought another basic set that came with another 12 colors that were like similar but varied. I just recently purchased a glitter set. I got a neon set, and then I got a glow in the dark liner striper gel situation, and they were all under 30 to 40 bucks. Guys, I'm telling you, check Amazon or even AliExpress first, because it's all the same stuff. I recently saw another like big nail company brand release a gel set, and it was the exact same packaging and everything as this brand that I got from Amazon, but it was like $100 cheaper. And I was like, OMG. I'm not gonna say who it was because I don't want no smoke, but please check Amazon first. So this one is from Amazon, and it's just a black, as you can see. And while I was ranting, or not really ranting, but just like looking out for y'all, I am building up this French gel situation, and you saw I started off with that center line. I like to do that so it gives me an eyeball. You know, I'm always talking about looking down the knuckles of the finger versus looking down the fingertip. So I draw the line down the center where I want it to be, and then we go and build our sides, you know, as far and as deep as you want. And as you can see, I'm always going back and forth, swiping, using the body of the brush to kind of give me the line that I want. If I feel like it's not straight, then, you know, go back to the sidewall and kind of pull the line closer in. But I like a long kind of almondy shape with my French. I just think it's really beautiful and elongates the nail bed area. Once happy, as you can see, I'm cleaning my sidewalls, and I had the client cure for a full 60 seconds. So now we're going in with this Bling Gel. This set is going to be our spider set, and I actually bought some like really cool silver 3D 3D spiders and other things like that for this client, because she was like, I want to go in, and I was like, damn, I gotta like stock up on my really cool Halloween stuff. So we're going in with some Bling Gel. That was from the Two Guides. It's a no wipe top coat, but we are going to float some top coat on top of it. This is matted from Not Polish. We are going matte on the set. So the way that I like to do this Bling Gel method is you apply a good old dollop of that Bling Gel, and I use the word float. We are not brushing this gel top coat on top of that Bling Gel. You will disrupt it. You are just floating it on top. So you have 2 layers of bling. 2 layers of gel. You've got that thick viscous Bling Gel, and then you've got the matte top coat that's going to sit on top of it. Then you can stick whatever items you want, and I'm just adding a little bit more matte top coat because I was like, I don't want any streaks of that Bling Gel to come through because it's a glossy Bling Gel. And then you're just going to stick your item into the 2 layers, and it has 2 beautiful layers, thick layers of gel to kind of float into. In this case, we are adding a spider right to the tip of that French area, and I'll tell my client, don't move your hand, just move it real straight into the light. Here we go. It is locked down. That spider is stuck to the nail, and we've got a beautiful matte finish to the nail. So to do the spider web, I'm going in with some glossy top coat. Actually, at first I was using black gel, and I was like, I'm gonna have to top coat the black gel and like drawing the lines over. I was like, why don't I just use glossy top coat? Which is what I did. Sorry that you can't really see it. You'll see it later in like the final photos or in different angles with the light. But basically we're going black on black. Since I did it with a matte top coat, the glossy top coat is now going to give a shine so we can draw the spider web. I'm framing that French line as best I can. There you go, using the glossy top coat. If it gets on top of the spider, I don't mind. It's just giving the spider, I guess, more gel to kind of stick to. We don't want this big bad boy coming off, but mostly, hopefully, it'll stay. She is a rougher client, but love her. And then I'm just going to build up a spiderweb design, one straight line down the center, and then tapering lines that kind of like triangulate outwards, and then fan throughout the whole rest of the French area, and then using small loops. You can kind of see it. You can't really see it. I can kind of see it, but you can't see it. Sorry about that. I do feel like I have to fix the lighting in my nail setup. I feel like maybe it's because the sun is setting at, I don't know what it is, but lately the videos have been like darker than normal. Maybe I need to get another light. It's gonna be so hot in there, but you know, anything for the YouTube. But yes, building up my spiderweb design, and there you go. I'm just drawing the little curvy lines with the glossy top coat. I really wish you could see what I'm doing, but you're gonna see it later in like photos and other clips of the video. Once happy with this though, I'm gonna have her cure for 30 seconds, and then this nail is done. So basically this set, every nail has something different going on. So I'm just moving nail to nail. This is another beautiful application. We are going in with a really, really thin coat of this black gel polish. And I'm just basing this nail. We're going to do a bling nail. The entire nail is going to get covered in black rhinestones. So I thought it would be great. You know what? I should have did it in red because we were talking about doing Louboutin. Look how beautiful that looks. Ooh, I love a pinky stiletto. But we were talking about doing red bottom nails. This would have been perfect to do a red bottom and then do black gel. You know what? Damn, missed opportunity. But for another person. So just a nice thin jet black polish application to the thumb and to the pinky, being super, super careful around the cuticle and sidewall areas, just like that. Made a little boobie, but make sure you clean that up. You want to have a beautiful application and a beautiful, just, you know, clean application, I guess, of the gel polish. Making sure, especially because we're using black, that we're using really, really thin coats. There we go, cleaning that up. Beautiful. Thin coats of the gel polish. Black is one of those colors that's really, really tough in terms of curing. The light has a hard time passing through. So if you go in with a really, really dark or really, really thick application, you might get that rippling that you might see with the gel. So now I'm going in with my bling gel. I'm not going to be top coating. I just added a good amount of the bling gel just because it's a stiletto. And these tips are not, they don't have the structure that I think that they need, especially for what I did in terms of clipping it into a stiletto. The gel tips have a little bit of an arch into it, like an apex built into the tips, especially the sculpted ones. But in this case, I felt like the pinky was really pointy. And because I know she's a tougher client, I just wanted to give her a little bit more structure. So I did add a big old dollop of that bling gel to the center of the nail. Hopefully it'll act as some support for her. But really it's there so that we can stick these gorgeous black rhinestones to her nail. So these are just basic black rhinestones. I am going to add some Swarovski rhinestones towards the center of the nail, but I wanted to do an outline, especially because it's a stiletto, of the nail first so that we didn't have a warped shape. So I'm just making sure these are super, super tiny. I think they're like SS3s. I didn't have anything smaller than that, but I'm basically outlining the entire nail. You know, when you want to do a bling nail, you start in the middle, and then as you get to the ends, you realize like, oh, it's going to look really bulky. I wanted to make sure that I did the outline first so that I can kind of keep that beautiful shape that we started off with. And the purpose of the black gel polish is just to give it a base so that we can't really see through the nail. Damn, I really should have did a red stiletto underneath there. Missed opportunity, right? Always 2020 in hindsight. But yep, just making sure that we have a nice, you see how the shape is maintained. I'm keeping the rhinestones from pushing too far out of the nail, just making sure we get that nice rhinestone point, there you go, happening with this set. We want the stiletto to kind of keep its shape. There you go. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start putting in larger. So these are Swarovski black, larger rhinestones. I think they're like an SS10 or SS16. And then I'm actually going to be going in with these Swarovski pixies. So I got these pixies from Michael. They came in a set with black, clear, and white pixies from Swarovski, and I'm just adding them to fill in the spaces. And the great thing about the, there you go, the great thing about the pixies, knocking all my stuff over, is that they reflect in different directions. They're like these diamond little triangle shaped thingies, and I'm just using them to fill in the spaces between the small rhinestones, the giant rhinestones as well. And it's just giving so much dimension and texture to this nail. So it looks like we've got a lot going on, but well, yeah, we do have a lot going on this nail. But the beauty of it is that the middle of the nail is uber chunky, but the outside is nice and clean with that line we did and the black rhinestones. Once happy, the great thing about the Bling Gel is that you can kind of move things around. If at this point the client was like, I'm not so sure, you could just take an alcohol wipe and wipe it away and you'd be totally fine. But for me, the great thing is that I can kind of adjust. So if anything is moving, because gravity is a factor, as you can see, look at all the dimension because I'm adding so many pixies to the nail, just filling in all those spaces and you get mega shine. There you go. You can kind of shift your bling back and then cure. That nail is done. Now we're moving on to the thumb and we are drawing its balloon. So I'm going in, here's another red striper brush that I got from Amazon. Great. I'm so loving these striper polishes. Such a great idea. Whoever, came up with it. It's like, damn, why do I have to draw things on a palette and mix color? I mean, that's great too, but like this is so freaking handy. So I'm just drawing a general balloon shape. This was not difficult. On this hand, she was making comments like usually she was like, what's going on? Because normally I do the other hand first. This is the client's left hand. I usually work the right hand first, just because it feels more natural. And then I do the left hand, and usually the left hand always comes out better because I've already seen what I'm trying to do. But today she was like, damn girl, like the right hand is looking better than the left hand. And I like taking photos of my left hand. I was like, oh my gosh, she's coming for me. So I thought I was doing a fine job with the balloon, but I do go back and clean it up a little bit. And I'm not even concerned with it being super patchy and streaky. I just want to get the base of the balloon kind of down. We will be adding a lot more to the actual balloon. So this red that we're adding, I know it's like super patchy or whatever. Don't worry, it's gonna get better. I did clean up the balloon a little bit. I didn't like the shape that it had a little bit. So I'm just going in with a Q-tip and some alcohol and just tapering it in. I felt like the little, throat part of the balloon, I don't even know if that's the word for it, was just a little too broad. That's the beautiful thing about gel polish. You can always just wipe it away and start over. And I'm just gonna clean that up. Once happy with the shape, I'm just gonna have her cure to lock that down. All right, so to begin finishing this nail, after this, I'm going to go in with my matte top coat. So we are mattifying or finishing this nail for the most part. This is Matted by Not Polish. I actually need to buy new ones because I love the matte top coat from Not Polish. I'm saying it. Love it, love it, love it. So great. So just giving a nice clean application. We are matte top coating the whole thing and have the client cure for a full 60 seconds to lock this down. Be super careful around your sidewalls and cuticle area. You don't want to get some top coat on there, especially after we did all that beautiful blending after the gel tip application. But here we go. Mattified, you're like, what's gonna happen? This looks crazy. Even she was like, this is not it. I was like, hold on girl, I got you. So I'm actually going in with the Not Polish transfer foil. We are going to be adding foil to this balloon to give it a little bit more dimension and zhuzh, because obviously that red flat was not gonna work. Definitely not for this client. So I'm just being super careful to only get the transfer gel where I want it to be. I'm gonna have the client cure for a minute, and now we have this uber tacky layer. I'm taking this piece of red foil, and this transfer foil gel is bomb, guys. Like, look, I'm not even doing too much to press on there, and the red metallic will now be transferred to and only to the balloon. Let's check that out. Boom. So now the balloon has a little bit more dimension, but even at this point, it's kind of bland. So to protect it, because remember the rest of the nail is based in matte top coat, I'm actually going in with some glossy top coat just to lock down this metallic feature. Also because I'm really clumsy, and if I make a mistake and wipe, I don't want to wipe away the metallic, because that's like, oh look, the metallic matches the nail polish container. Great. Then I was like, you know what, let's make the balloon kind of raised off the nail. I actually took some hard gel. This is the Synergy gel, not the Synergy gel, the hard gel from Young Nails. I have the big container of it that I got in a mystery haul last November, or was it that Christmas one? And I added a huge dollop. I actually did it twice, so the balloon actually does raise up off the nail, and now we can add the finishing touches. I'm going in with my white striper bottle, and we are going to outline this balloon. Once done with the line work, we're gonna go in with another coat of glossy top coat only over the balloon, being super careful not to get it on that matte area. But at this point, the balloon is so raised and has so much texture, and it has that beautiful metallic finish. I thought it was just so freaking cool. Have the client cure. This nail is set and locked down. So this nail was one of my favorites. We have a gel application, but I'm going to be using acrylic to add some really cool Halloween gory accents to this nail. So this nail is going to be our bloody, ripped up, kind of damaged skin nail. I'm going in with this really gorgeous color called Macadamia by Sugar and Cream, and it's just a light acrylic application. Obviously she has a gel tip on. You can totally add acrylic on top of these gel tips. I have done it before. I'll link a video in my cards where I had a client use a gel tip and then come back for a refill, and I just refill her with acrylic, and that set lasted, and she actually built up on top of those nails for a few months actually. But yes, you can apply acrylic on top of these gel tips. I do it all the time. Check out that video. But we are basically building up a flesh base to this nail, and also because I wanted to carve into the acrylic. It's actually like my first time carving into acrylic really, and it wasn't very difficult. I was worried that like, oh, the acrylic's gonna set super fast and I'm not gonna have enough time, but we're just beating these nails. Again, the purpose is not to build structure, it's just to give coverage and to give me something to kind of carve into, kind of like Play-Doh, I guess. But we're making sure that we're not flooding the cuticle and sidewall areas. We did do a lot of beautiful prep after the application of the gel X tips, so I can kind of really cleanly see where to push the acrylic to and where not to push it to. But that's basically it. I just wanted to give the nail a nice coating of the acrylic so that we can kind of carve into it. Nice and clean, beautiful, no biggie. So what I'm going to use is not like an X-Acto knife. I'm literally just using a pair of tweezers that I found in one of my drawers. I get these tweezers all the time. Whenever I buy like rhinestones, I'm letting it air dry a little bit so it polymerizes. But anytime I buy like bling or like little charms on Amazon, you get these kinds of tweezers, and this one's been messed up because I used it for something that I wasn't supposed to. So I was like, this is perfect. It's super sharp, and as you can see, I'm literally just slicing into the acrylic. I want to create like a wound, like a slice. I don't even really know, but I want to tear up this flesh. There you go. Look, I'm pushing the acrylic away, and at this point the acrylic was pretty much setting, so this was like great. I could press into the acrylic and it stayed like that. It didn't like melt back. And I'm going to do 2 slices on each nail, using the what are these things called? Tweezers, to kind of get sharp lines. You can open the tweezers to kind of separate the acrylic product. Just really having a good time slicing through the nail. And she was like not able to see what I was doing at this point, so she was like uber worried, and I was like, girl, just let me do my thing. I think I know what I'm doing, right? I think I know what I'm doing. Never done this before, but it came out super, super cool. Once done, just leave the nail alone for a bit and it's gonna cure, and that's basically it. So to start, we are going to be adding some googly eyes. I went to Michael's and purchased some really, really tiny googly eyes to this nail. So I'm going in with that same bling gel just to lock it down. And I'm going to apply 3 of those googly eyes. She had so much fun. I finished the other hand first, and I saw her like shaking her hand. I was like, is something wrong? Like, is your hand itching? She's like, no, I'm shaking the eyes. And I was like, oh, I had no idea what she was doing, but she was playing with the little googly eyes. I thought these were so fun, and just wanted to incorporate them. It's kind of like there's a monster on her finger that's bleeding and oozing. We're going to get to the blood and bits later, but just to lock them down, had her cure for 30 seconds to lock down the googly eyes. Using a little bit more gel just to secure it. Remember that the back of the googly eyes is just paper, so I just wanted to make sure that we surrounded the entire part of like the plastic area so that like water doesn't mess it up and they don't like melt off her finger. But have her cure for 30 seconds. Ooh, so now we're getting into painting the gore on this nail. This is our bloody nail. So I actually went in with black first, and at first she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing with the black? And I was like, I kind of want there to be a really dark part to the wound, right? Like if we go in with just like candy apple red, it's just gonna look like red. But if I put like a black base in the scar, then the scar will look like it's coagulated and congealed and the blood is all nasty and old. But she was just like, okay. But that's basically what we're doing here. I'm just using my black gel striper to kind of get into all the nooks and crannies that we created with the tweezer. I love doing this. I think what would be even cooler is like if you used an alcohol paint, because then that would bleed into the cracks more versus trying to get the brush in there and kind of make your own. That would be really cool. So probably try it with like, or water down your gel, like mix it with like alcohol to kind of get more of a runny gel application to kind of get it to flow into the cracks that you created. But this is totally fine. Once I'm with this, I'm gonna have her cure. And then as you can see on my palette, I've got about three different colors of blood red that we mixed up. One is just straight candy apple red that came out of the bottle. One is this one that I'm applying now is like red mixed with a lot of black. And then one is red mixed with clear. Because I thought we should have 3 different variations of the red so that it's not just you know, candy apple red on top of this nail. I want it to be really gory and really like real life bloody. So I'm going in over the black and basically basing it with that blood red. And I feel like it just kind of grounds it so that we know it's deep inside the wound of this nail. And what's really funny is that it's totally safe. I didn't go down to her natural nail. It's sitting on top of an Apres tip. So when she comes back and we file this off, we'll have a beautiful Apres tip right underneath this acrylic. So that's funny. But basically just using my brush to kind of throw gel everywhere. There's no rhyme or reason. I was trying to focus at first of getting the dark red into the wound areas, but once I'm done curing with that, it's literally just a free-for-all, throwing blood everywhere. Not much to say, just check this out, I guess. Just check it out. Ooh, so at this point it's looking bloody, it's looking gory, but I'm like, let's get some of the lighter red colors in now. So this is where I'm going to be building up more of the other red. You see me dipping into the lighter and the sheerer reds to kind of add the blood that's out and fresh and oozing and kind of like splatter all over the place. I'm also going to be adding blood around the eyeballs. I don't even know what kind of monster this would be. Eyeballs and scars, who knows? But it's so good for Halloween. So using the lighter red, just honestly mixing it up, using my dotting tool to kind of add drips and little dots that look like splatter. We just wanted it to be uber gory. I'm also adding the blood around the eyeballs again to kind of lock them down. They do come with paperbacks, so I was just like, let me get some gel around these eyeballs so that when she does put her hand in water or anything, you know, the eyeballs don't like fall off of her finger because it's basically just paper. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking messy and gory. And then once happy, just have your client cure. This nail is done. All right, last nail up is this middle finger, and we are getting started with a white base gel polish application. As you can see, it's really, really dry and really, really thin. This is not the focus of the nail. I didn't want to go in with a thick, gloopy base because it's not the focus of the nail. It's not the focus of the show. So basically, we wanted to draw it on her nails, the face of the clown from It on her nails. And I actually did. We did a practice run because I recently did another client where I drew like a character on her nail, and I was stressed. You guys remember when I did the playing card nails? Stressed, guys. These clients have me drawing out here, and I can draw, but like it's been years and I am stressed out there on nails. It's like, what, you know? So there you go. Well, I was going off my rant, but basically I did draw it on her nails, you know, as a practice run, but I felt like the proportions were a little bit off, and I just, it wouldn't work with me. I wasn't really comfortable with how it was going. So I opted to just give her some decals, and she was okay. She chose this one. I actually wanted to do the one with the half face that's like super zoomed in, but she chose this one. We placed it at the tip of the nail. I really, really wish I had a decal that fit the entire length of the nail, but you know, maybe for next Halloween. And my camera died, so I definitely missed the decal application and the blood drip application, but it's the same drip application that I did in my last year's alien set, where you kind of just use your ball bit, you kind of build up a blob and then work backwards is the best way that I knew how to do that. I'm now going in actually with some transfer gel because I wanted to, with the French tip that we added on this nail and the blood, you know, tie in the metallic that we did with the balloon. I thought that this was really cool as well. So just taking the remnants of that after curing that transfer foil and just adding it to the drips, it just made it a little bit more shiny and sparkly and just gave it a little bit more dimension. We will be building this up so that the drips do raise up off the nail. Please excuse my ashy fingers. Look, y'all, this video is all over the place, but I'm super excited about this set. So much things going on, so much variety and techniques being used. And there you go. We got some beautiful, beautiful metallic blood drips. And before we added the blood drips, I did mattify the nail. So, you know, it is safe on her nail, the clown he's safe down there. There you go. You can kind of see the spider web on the pointer finger, but you'll see it better in the final shot. But just making sure to only apply the glossy top coat to the bloody parts of the nail. I will go in later off camera with the same hard gel from Young Nails and build it up even more. And this is the final shot. Whoa, it happened so fast. Thanks so much for watching. Love that we're in the spooky season. I love that this client was like, let's go all out. Here you go. You can definitely see the spider situation on the nail. And yeah, I hope you really liked this one. It was very talkative. I'm happy to be back. Happy Halloween. If you don't celebrate, happy costume and candy day. I hope you love this video. Like if you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next one. Bye.